This depends on which team shows up. If the team that played BC shows up, North Carolina's going to get run out of the building. What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? Alan here, one half of the Hill Brothers, going to bring you this NC State preview. Matchups going down this Saturday, 3:30 inside Keenan. The Hill Brothers are going to be there. First of all, going to get this shout out of the way. Kevin, we appreciate you for hooking us up with these tickets to the NC State game. When my brother sent over the email, I couldn't believe that one of our supporters was actually going to give us tickets to attend this game. That is absolutely amazing. Cannot thank you enough. We really appreciate it. We 100% will try to find you at some point, either during the game, before the game, after the game. If nothing else, to shake your hand and tell you how much we appreciate it. With that being said, let's get into this preview. We all know what transpired this week. Mack Brown's tenure is done after this season. I support the decision. I think it's time for some new life, some new blood to be injected into the program. Hopefully, re-energize this program, get them set back on the right track. And I'm looking forward to what the future holds for the football team. I do believe that with the news about Mack Brown, I think North Carolina will come out inspired. I hope they come out inspired. I can't say I believe they'll come out inspired because belief is not really something that me personally I have in this program currently. So we'll say hope, and it's always the hope that gets you. But I do hope that UNC comes out inspired in this football game and really puts on one last show in Keenan for Mack Brown. Since not only Mack Brown out with a win, but the seniors that poured their life, sweat, blood into this. Yeah, man, I hope that we end this season on a high note. NC State comes in winning 3 in a row. They've really whooped our tail the past couple, and Dave Doran has spared no expense at letting the media know and everybody else know how much he's despised them. We all know the comments he made at the end of last season about how many days that those POSs haven't beaten us. Then he came out with an apology, if that's what you want to call it. But we all know it was just he's not apologizing for that. That's exactly what he thinks. He has no problem letting his players know. I'm sure he's fired up. I'm sure NC State can't wait to get into Keenan to try to send Mack Brown out with a loss and losing 4 in a row to NC State. But with that being said, I'll go over the little bit of this team. CJ Bailey comes in freshman quarterback. Sorry. He's thrown for 1,941 yards, 12 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He's really good with his feet. We know what that does to UNC's defense. A mobile quarterback really hurts UNC. He can, and it's not so much the design runs; it's more of the off script runs. The pocket breaks down, he breaks loose and is able to run. So North Carolina is really going to key in. It'll be interesting to see what Jeff Collins does. Does he bring a lot of pressure? Try to get the Bailey before he can break out of those rush lanes and get downfield, or does he kind of like sit back and make Bailey beat him with his arm? He does have 8 interceptions, so he is turnover prone. But I think most of those interceptions has come from when he is under pressure. Bailey is not that good when he's under pressure. The running back, we all know Jordan Waters transferred from Duke last season. This season he has 85 carries, 410 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's averaging 4.8 yards per carry. It's kind of like a running back by committee over there. But he, of course, is getting the lion's share of the carries. And then you got two pass catchers that could really pose problems, I think, for UNC. One is their tight end, Justin Jolly. He has 37 receptions for 576 yards and 3 touchdowns. So power is really going to have to be, and power and the nickels are really going to have to be locked into what the tight end's doing. Keep an eye on him. And then the name that we all know, Kevin Concepcion, who absolutely torched us last season as a freshman, running the ball, catching the ball. He has not been successful as an entirety this season. He does come in with 50 receptions, but he's only got 416 receiving yards, and he scored 5 touchdowns. We all know what Concepcion brings to the table. He's small, he's fast. Uh, Caleb Cost is going to have his hands full. I expect there to be some kind of, four eyes on Concepcion. Then you got Noah Taylor, the highly touted recruit that North Carolina was recruiting last season. He came in. Noah Taylor is a freshman this season. He's come in. He's going to be an outside threat that Marcus Allen is going to have to deal with. And Huzzy's potential has to deal with, depending on what side of the field he lines up on. And man, this defense, they got a solid defense. Defense comes in 22 sacks, 8 interceptions, but the mind-boggling stat to me was the 12 forced fumbles and the 8 fumble recoveries. So they're really punching this ball out. Devin Van, he comes in as a defensive end, 8.5 sacks on the season. That's a lot. That's a lot. Travion Green, Howard Sampson, they're going to need some help. We don't want another situation where Jacoby Criswell is seriously running for his life. We just can't have it. Or this game could very well end up looking like the Boston College game, and that is not what any North Carolina fan wants. They've recovered 8 of those fumble recoveries. That's they really get that ball out of there. But yeah, we're gonna, and as speaking on Van, you're really gonna have to chip him. He's forced 5 fumbles himself, so he's really getting around that edge, beating the tackles, and then getting his hand on the ball, knocking it out of the quarterback hit. So yeah, man, you're really gonna have to maybe double team Van, but then if you double team Van, then you're leaving the nose tackle and the other defensive end one on one. That just might be a recipe for disaster too. So all I can say is, to the offensive line, good luck. Please, please protect Jacoby Criswell. When he has protection, he's a decent quarterback, and he has the ability to throw the ball downfield. And we do have several wide receivers that can get the ball and take it to the house. NC State comes in this season with a 5-6 record. They need this one to be bowl eligible, so they're going to be motivated. They're gonna come in absolutely needing this win to continue their season after today or after Saturday. Today is actually Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys and gals out there. But yeah, NC State's gonna come in hungry. Dave Doran gets his team riled up for this game. There's no bones about it. I think NC State hates North Carolina way more than North Carolina. Well, the persona that North Carolina hates NC State. Mack Brown, is Mack Brown. He doesn't in front of people, in front of a microphone. He has nothing negative to say. Now, what he says behind closed doors when the microphones and the cameras are cut off, we don't know. You hope that Mack has enough fire in his belly to get this team up one more time. Yeah, man. NC State doesn't stop the run that well. So North Carolina again going to need to rely on Amarion Hampton. Hampton really has been just absolutely fantastic. Going to have another 1,500-yard rushing season. That'll be back-to-back 1,500-yard rushing seasons, which for North Carolina, that's absolutely insane. I think he's only the third running back to have done it. And North Carolina's going to have to stop the run. It, North Carolina recently has been good at stopping the run. Averaging less than 4 yards a carry. Um, but then it just depends on which team shows up. If the team that played BC shows up, North Carolina's going to get run out of building. If the teams that went down to Florida State, Virginia, Wake Forest, I like I like North Carolina's chances. It really just depends on how North Carolina's going to come out. This preview was supposed to feature the Red and White podcast. Not sure what happened to those guys. We reached out earlier in the season. They said they'd be down. We reached out this week. Maybe they wasn't able to do it. Didn't see the messages. Maybe so they could give us an inside perspective, but we wasn't able to get a hold of those guys. And if we do get a hold of those guys between now and the uploading of this podcast, we'll interject it. They have way more insight than we have. But yeah, I think it really depends for both of these teams which team shows up. NC State came in, top 25, thinking that this was going to be their year. Even when it turned out even when Grayson McCall was healthy, or at that quarterback position, that NC State really wasn't as good as they thought. What others thought they were, what they thought they were going to be. So it'll be interesting to see. They spent a lot of money in NIL this season. It'll be interesting to see if North Carolina does, beat NC State, how NC State feels about Dave Doran. That's curious because they went all in for this season and they have a 5-6 record. That's crazy. But yeah, guys, that's about all I got for this preview. I'm gonna say I'm gonna be there. Normally, I'm in attendance. It goes well, except for one game. Normally, when Nathan's in attendance, it doesn't go well. And we're going to flip the coin. I'm going to say North Carolina wins 31-28. And it's a good game. Maybe the students storm the field and, give Mack Brown a big hug. Who knows? It might get crazy. I hope it is crazy that Mack Brown's last game, maybe we hang 60 on State. That would be fantastic. But, yeah, man, that's all I got. I'm going to go get ready. I'm going to go eat a bunch of turkey, ham, dressing, all that good stuff and get real good and full. And then I'll see you guys Saturday. And as always, go Heels.
You don't want none!